So what was the difference? What was it that led to one man being wise and the other man being a fool? What was it that resulted in one man having a house that stands and the other man's house coming crumbling down? Well, Jesus tells us the answer is the foundation. It's all about what the house was built upon that determined the result the builder got. One man built wisely and the other man built foolishly. Here's what Jesus said about that. About the wise man, he said, he's someone who hears my words, puts them into practice, because what? He built his house on the rock. The wise man built on the rock, and that's why he got the right result. It's not because of how he built his house, but it's because of what he built his house upon. And Jesus tells us the rock in this story, it's not a literal story, it's a parable. The rock is building on the words of Jesus, not just hearing them, but actually putting them into practice. To build on the rock in your life and my life is to come to church, to read our Bibles, to listen to godly wisdom that reflects what the Word says, and not just hear it, but actually do it. That's building on the rock. And here's the result of that type of building: your house will stand. But when Jesus' audience, again, they heard this, they would have maybe heard something that's even more powerful than what we hear today. Because when we think about building on rock, sure, we think that sounds difficult, but in their time, remember, there was no jackhammer, there was no dynamite, there was no heavy machinery. If you were going to build on rock, do you know what that meant? Hard work. That's what it would have meant to build on the rock. Here's how Jesus said it in Luke's perspective of this very same sermon. In Luke chapter 6, he writes this. Jesus said, "They are like a man building a house who dug down deep, and he laid the foundation on rock." Building on the rock takes more time, more effort, more money. It would have been easier to take a shortcut, to save some cash, to save some time, to take the easy way out, but this man didn't do that. No, he did the wise thing, and he built on the rock. In your life and my life, it'll always be easier, simpler, it'll cost us less to hear the words of Jesus and live differently. It's going to cost you something to hear Jesus' words and live them out. But it's the wise thing to do because you're building your life on a solid foundation. And when you do that, here's what happens. The rain will come down, the streams will rise up, the winds will blow, but your house will not fall because it has its foundation on the rock.